The river siren cut through the carnival music, and the mayor kept smiling for the cameras. I watched a crate of pumps meant for the valley rolled past with a sticker I'd never seen. The logo said BlueRidge Logistics, but I knew every supplier in a 50-kilometer radius, and that company didn't exist here. Kobarid had thrown a small festival to christen the new levee at the bank of the Socha, one of those optimistic alpine afternoons where grilled chavapi smoke curls around speeches, and you can believe the mountains love you back. School kids had painted a mural of trout climbing ladders. Tourists stopped to read plaques, in English and Italian. The mayor cut a ribbon with giant scissors and said the sentence I'd fed her in a memo 2 weeks earlier. Resilience isn't a wall, it's a promise. Then the siren began, a single endless note that turns conversations into confession. My phone blinked. Hydrograph alert, 1412. Upstream rainfall spikes near Bovec. We had forecasted a seasonal swell, not this. The river was rising like a person standing up too fast, stunned at their own strength. Pumps, hoses, sandbags appeared from nowhere. Volunteers formed a line like a vertebrae and passed 50-kilo sacks down to the low quarter near Trgsvobod. I should have been on that line. Instead, I stood stupidly still, staring at the crate. BlueRidge Logistics, white on cobalt, fresh adhesive. My procurement sheet from Thread and May listed only 3 emergency suppliers. Hydrocat, Ljubljanska Voda, Adria Pump. No BlueRidge. The crate's manifest sleeve was empty. A man in a neon vest, whose beard had been handsome until the siren promised to test it, yelled that I was in the way. I'm a hydrologist by degree, and a planner by the part of me that hates surprise. Portland-born, Zurich-trained, 34, the sort of person who color codes a field notebook and writes dates on duct tape. I came to Slovenia last October on a 12-month contract with Alpine Adapt, a Swiss-Slovene NGO that consults for rural municipalities on flood risk. I like clean variables, and people who at least pretend to respect them. Kobarid taught me that a place can be a variable. The mayor was why I signed the contract. She had the kind of energy that makes you feel like a fence is a dare. She wore boots, not heels, to sight walks and laughed like a whistle, short and sharp and satisfying. Her name is irrelevant here. Let's just call her the mayor. She came up through accounting, not politics, and could read a spreadsheet the way fly fishers read water. The quiet parts, as important as the obvious rush. She shook hands at the butcher's on Wednesday mornings, because that's where she was anyway. When she saw the first draft of my levee design, she didn't ask how it would look in photos. She asked about seepage undercurrents at peak flow, and how far we could set back the bank without making a row of garages illegal. You don't forget that. You decide to trust it. At first, it fit. Late fall surveys with a team of 6. A crooked map pinned to the wall of the municipal office at Trgsvoboda 8. Winter evenings where I learned enough Slovene to order dark bread and be teased. The project costed at 1.84 million, split between an EU cohesion grant, file number SICCA 2024-1187, and municipal bonds. The contractor tender went to a firm in Nova Gorica. Fair bid, credentials real. We negotiated materials. Geotextile specs at 1,200 £. Full story in the channel below.